Yeah.
All right. Well, my clock says 11, so we're going to go ahead and jump in there. If you made it today and you're in your right mind after coming in and having to deal with, I don't know, book drop is always crazy after a holiday. I don't know about you guys, but and I am not in my normal spot, so nor am I in my normal chair. So if I start going like this because this chair is really, it moves really easy, just somebody wave at me and I don't want to make you seasick trying to watch me do this. I do think this may be a short meeting. Of course, I think that every time. So I guess we'll see once we get going here. The other thing is if you have not put in your name and library, please, please, please do that so that your library gets credit for taking the time to be here today. So I wanted to start with it says checking items before sending them in transit. And this actually reminder came to me from Darcy because, and I have no idea how it happened, but um, contraband item came through in a book that was coming
Circulation
from
committee meeting for like two
someplace else
minutes.
to them. And Darcy, do you remember this? Can you explain what happened?
Sorry, trying to get my stuff squared away. Yeah, we got a book with a partially smoked cigarillo stuffed between the pages, and boy, did it smell like it. I don't know if any of you have ever been smokers, known smokers, but even when I was a smoker, a partially smoked cigarette is disgusting. Anyway, so, and I mean, it was a full on, like it was just stuffed between the pages. So there's that. So yeah, maybe just flip through them before you shoot them out to the courier. I say that I had to send an email to my staff this morning because I think we sent one out with a receipt for a completely different book. So everybody makes mistakes.
Right. So this is just your friendly reminder. And we're not saying go through every single page. Nobody has time to do that. But if we could just glance before we um, send things on, that would, the people who are finding these gifts would probably be very appreciative if they didn't find them. So, um, moving on to B. This got put on my radar before we canceled the last month's meeting. And in between, when we canceled last month's meeting and today, the circulation committee has met, and it's my understanding that this is now a decision that has been made. But at the same time, I want to make sure that the Circ community is aware of what is going on. So basically, beginning June 1, so not very far from now, um, they are going to require complete sets as opposed to disc one, disc two, disc three of like, so think NCIS season, whatever, how it's got 5 or 6 discs. Everything moving forward is going to be a complete set. This is not retroactive, so it's not, you do not have to go back and change, recatalog or move anything that's already been done. It's going to be just moving forward. And I don't know. I'm quite thrilled because I fix a lot of times that people have the whole part thing in Evergreen
Forward.
is
If you have
um
a set of anything like DVDs,
what? Say it again.
instead of doing disc one, disc two, disc three, it should be complete set.
Right. And I
We're
think
not going back and cataloging anything, but
correct. Liz, I think,
mm,
is going to be sending out information to the catalogers about that. Um, at least that's what I was looking ahead at the executive board. um, reports that are going in. And so there was something in there that Liz would be sending out information to all the catalogers.
Well, they say we don't have to go back, but just
Right.
going forward.
Hey, Rhonda,
Yes. Yeah.
the cataloging committee, this is not what we decided.
Oh,
We didn't, okay, so although I would love this rule, but
okay.
it's not that we decided this, we are just turning on a setting that requires the monograph parts,
Which means,
which means that when you go to add an item and it's already like, let's say the bib record's already in there, there's already people on there, and it's a DVD set, they already have complete set, disc one, disc two, whatever. When you go to add your item, it's going to require you to add a monograph part before you're allowed to save it.
okay. So is there a way that, I don't know, what does everybody think? I mean, I think the the CERC community would be thrilled if we didn't have to deal with parts.
I saw a lot of
I
happiness about no more individual discs. Is
I
that
think
something
so
that's on the table?
too. I think so too, but I don't know whose decision that would be to make because so far, like Missouri Evergreen doesn't tell you how to circ your items. That's a rule they have, basically. So I don't know who could or would make that decision.
Well, is it a CERC issue or is it a cataloging issue?
I think it's both. And I think Belinda is probably right. It's probably would have to get membership approval. But yeah, that's not what cataloging is doing. We're just turning on a setting that makes you
Okay.
put a monograph part on your item if there's already some on there that have it. So that then, you get those lists every month that are like, oh, you don't have a monograph part. Well, that will hopefully cease to be happening because you'll be required to add it when you've added the item.
Okay. And that's going live
June
June
1st. It is going live
1st.
June 1st. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Liz, maybe you and I need to have a little conversation with the executive board and see kind of where they're thinking. What does the rest of the circulation committee think about that?
I would love to see it go to just complete parts, but I know that there will probably be pushback from some of the libraries who are using individual disc checkouts. So we don't, but I know there are some.
I can say, oh, sorry. I was just going to say, as someone who does both, I can see why everybody would love the complete set thing. I know for us, the reason we've separated them out involves a period of time they're allowed to be checked out, and B, the way we shelve them, we don't put the discs on the shelves because we don't have RFID or any kind of security measures. So the discs have to be kept in the back, and storage wise, the cases that held more than however many were just flimsy like tissue paper. So those are our reasons for splitting them up. But I also have a question, and this might be for Liz, but it's also a circulation question because I was helping one of my circ staff last week place a hold for a specific magazine for a patron, and it automatically chose a part. She thought it was an item hold issue versus a bib hold issue. And I explained to her about parts, but then when I watched the process, it was just picking apart. Like you had to scroll down and change the part that it was placing on hold. Is that the behavior that it's been in the past always, or?
Yeah, when you place a hold and there's something on there that has a part, it does always ask you.
Well, no, but I mean, it just chose the part. She
Oh,
didn't
it chose one
select.
for her? Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
it didn't say choose part. It just picked one and selected it. And I thought you had to choose or you just would be placing a hold on any. But anyway, I don't know if that's
Having any part as a selection is one of the main problems because if you have a magazine and it automatically selects any part, you're just going to get any magazine that's on that. So I'm hoping that this change will help that situation, Darcy, because I think that it offers you the option for no part if there are items that don't have parts, which should not happen on a magazine bib, because then we do
Right.
not know like what volume it is.
Well, and this
Aspen behavior
was,
is a little different from, I think, the Evergreen catalog behavior, but Aspen requires, it just says choose a part. It offers you a drop down and then requires it. I don't think it automatically selects a part. So
yeah,
it's
because
curious behavior.
this was selecting a specific part. Um, and I was confused because usually, you see the drop down and you make a selection, or if you don't, you get screwed and get whatever they send you. um, but it was just weird because I don't remember in the past it selecting a specific part before you did anything to it.
Would that be you or would that be? Okay. In February, my technology person ordered a complete set of toner cartridges for a Canon that we have. She had one of the numbers backwards, and the whole set came in for the wrong printer. We hadn't opened them because she's very efficient and she orders a whole set when she opens the last one of a container. So I know it's
Eva,
fast.
I'm sorry. Are you intending to address the group? I'm just not sure.
It's basically a whole set of useless toners sitting here.
Okay, I'm gonna try and mute and see. I thought she was talking parts and I was trying to figure out what what was going on there. So, um, well, all right. So monograph parts are coming. The other thing I don't like about parts is sometimes it'll show complete set. It comes up with complete set, but you still have to pick complete set, even though complete set is what automatically comes up. And so then people think they are on complete set, place the hold, and it goes into you're not ever going to get this hold because it's not done right. So that's the other issue with this whole parts um, issue, as far as I can see. It's confusing, not only for I mean, not even, just frontline staff and people. It's just confusing.
And
So
patrons too, I think. And
I think so too.
I see that we don't there's a fine line, we don't want to tell libraries what they need to do, but if we do eliminate individual discs, the simplification for both staff and patrons is very significant. One of the went to Evergreen International this year, which was great, and one of the sessions was about reducing transits, which I know is becoming a problem for us. We send so many items back and forth, and one of the presentations said that one of the measures they did to reduce transits across the state was that they eliminated individual discs, because then instead of sending just one disc, you're sending the whole set. So that's 4 transits instead of 1. So could be something to discuss. Just feel out how it might affect the libraries that do use individual discs, get their feedback on it.
Right. Okay, so if you are a library that uses individual discs, um, could you shoot me or maybe copy me and Liz? Liz, I'm throwing you under the bus here, sorry. Um, to let us know your thoughts on this so that we can move forward the best way for the whole consortium. We don't want to ignore a group of people just because it's more convenient one way, but we want to just hear everybody's thoughts on it. So, okay, moving on to C. I am recently, obviously, I didn't have enough to do that day. So I was re-editing some things for my own library, and it made me curious. So I went online to see how many libraries had actually changed their settings for missing pieces to say missing pieces, which we can do now. By default, it comes up as damaged. The problem with that is our item is not really damaged. It's just missing something. And we're going to be hoping that we're getting that piece or part back, hooking it back together and sending it on. So the confusing part is number one, it's not damaged, and number two, there's no bill associated. And usually, if you bill, if you've got a damage charge on there, there's going to be a bill associated with it. So it's confusing to frontline staff. So probably, I don't know, a year or two, maybe somewhere in that time range ago, Equinox created a setting where you can actually say the status of your item is missing pieces. And so at the end of the agenda, I included instructions of how to change your setting to actually say missing pieces. So at this point, of the 80 libraries that I looked at, 20 of them have made that switch. And that means 60 of you all have not. And I am strongly encouraging you to go ahead. It takes very little time. If you have questions, call me or email me and I'll help you walk through the process. But if we could get our status to accurately reflect what what the status is of the item. So you can mark, okay, let's say Jen over at Jefferson County has a Cass County item that comes back to her library, but it's missing a piece. You can mark my item missing pieces because you're hoping you're going to get it back. When, let's say it never comes back, you can just go in and bill. Again, you can bill for missing pieces. So of course, then we're talking back and forth. Jen's talking to me. How much does this piece, how much are you going to charge for this piece to replace it? And then she would send it on back to me. So you can mark other libraries items missing pieces. You cannot mark them damaged. You can mark them lost. You can mark them missing pieces, but you can't mark them damaged for something. Okay. So if you have questions and the instructions don't make sense, give me a call or else shoot me an email and we'll work through that process. Okay. There is regional training. When we got together, I guess it would be back in March, we talked about how many libraries might be interested in doing regional training. It's been a couple of years. And so there was, of the libraries that were on the call that day, 3/4 of them said yes, they would be interested. You haven't signed your life away at this point, but they would be interested in having some regional circulation training again. So the committee is going to be sending out official save the date information so that you have something that came to your inbox that's telling you where the dates and where. We're also going to send you a very brief but very important survey because we want to make this time to be as practical as we can. So, what are the things that you definitely want covered? And what are the things that just are repetitively issues that come up? So it's kind of the same, but not the same. What are the things that your circ staff repetitively, okay, this causes me trouble. This, you know what I'm saying. And then just what are the things that you definitely want covered? We've met once to kind of talk about it. Our thought at this point, not having seen what you turned back in on surveys, is that the morning part of the day would be going over some of the more basic things, making sure everybody's knows how to do the major things that you do every day or most often. And then the afternoon, moving into more advanced and some local administration type things. This would not be a full-blown, let's learn about local administration, but it would be local administration things that would be helpful to your CERT people. Is that a good summary kind of where we are right now? But based on what you turn back into our survey, our thoughts may change on that because we really do want to tailor it to where it's going to be the most helpful. So I'm just going to read off the dates and times. Keep in mind, I already said we're going to send you a save the date that has all this information on it. So September 11th, we'll be meeting at Camden County, I think the Camdenton branch. September 18th, we're going to be at Jefferson County, and I think that's scheduled at the Windsor branch. September 25th, Poplar Bluff. October 9th, Livingston County. And October 22nd. All those ones before have been on a Friday. This next one is on a Thursday, so that's October 22nd, and that's going to be at Carthage. So, so that you won't have to listen to me drone on and on and on, the Circulation Committee is going to be involved in presenting some of this. It's not going to be just one person, but multiple people from the Circulation Committee will be presenting. However, I will say I am the only Circulation Committee person who is anyways at all near close to Chillicothe. So if you would be interested in helping me to where those people at Chillicothe don't have to listen to me all day, shoot me an email, or I may be shooting you an email if I don't get anything from anybody, so that we can, there's expertise all around the whole state, and we want to tap in to the expertise that's already there. Okay, question about that. Anything? I think it's going to be a 10 to 3 type of day with lunch provided. So, all right. We have been working on, or I say we, Darcy has been working on a version of the Missouri item condition report. And so I'm going to try and share. Can you all see that? Okay, so we think a landscape paper and divide it into 4 things so that it's a bigger sheet of paper. So here we go. And we've tried to include a little bit more in this section here. And then also left a place for notes because sometimes this doesn't really, what you see here isn't really what the issue is. So here's some notes placed down here. Circulation Committee, we didn't ever really have a chance to talk more about this. So what does everybody think? Or just if you're on the call, what does everybody think?
Darcy, I think you did a great job on it. It looks wonderful.
I think
Thank
it
you.
was really well done.
At a glance, I'm like that line at the top I use is too bold. I can't. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Did
We
you
can
not
still
remove? I
edit a
think
little
it's
more.
actually bold enough because so many patrons will remove it if it is not bold enough.
Say it again, Brandy.
The do not remove, I think, is quite bold enough because too many patrons will remove it.
I just meant the line underneath the logo.
Oh, okay.
This line right
Yeah,
here.
I just at a glance I'm like, oh, that's darker than I realized. It's a just a weird persnickety thing, but
Okay, is there anything that we should have put in here?
I'm really
that-
happy with the odor being put on there because so many things. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, talking about the odor, um, how do we determine whether the odor came from a patron or from the courier drivers? Because that's an issue down here.
Interesting.
I don't know, Ron. We had an issue for a while where our courier driver, and I think this was Henry, but he would come in and claim that there was a family of skunks living in the warehouse. And it indeed did smell skunky. Um,
I'm sorry, I call BS on that.
I'm totally not.
yeah.
Totally not
Oh
laughing.
yeah. We pretty much knew that, but he sure was proud of himself with that story.
Can I throw in just a thought? Could we have line that's just like other?
A line for other? Okay. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, thank
Because I
you.
figure you can put more in notes, but that way too, like if there's anything here that doesn't get used often, like we could always drop something and be like, check your other box and explain.
Okay. Okay, so we are not talking about getting rid of what we already have. This would be in addition to what we already have, with the thought that the longer piece of paper might keep it tucked inside a book better. Um, Personally, I like those little ones for like DVDs. If I'm sending them back, you can slip them in that plastic front cover, and they're the perfect size for that. But it just seems like, I don't know about at your libraries, but somebody's always saying, "Well, we had it and now we can't find it." And so we always err on the side of the patron and say, "Okay, yeah." But um, I think this might help. Okay, so Darcy, did you get everything that you want to tweak? So this will probably be, I don't know, when once Darcy sends it to Ron to post, then we'll send out an email that's saying it's on the website. Okay. All right. Um, I will just say Cass County is involved in doing the transit things. We're trying a few different things to make it faster because we send out a boatload of stuff every day. We have got it to where we can print it on receipt paper, and then it just cuts it and you don't have to do any of that cutting out. The problem is you can't tape over it. So we're working through some other possibilities of things that, because once you tape it onto the box, the tape, all the heat thing fades after that. So we're working through things. I don't know if um St. Joe has started doing theirs and if they've come up with any other solutions. I know we were talking, they had kind of like a meeting the other day. So we are working through it. More updates as we figure out something that will really work and be, I don't know, take a reasonable amount of time to do to fulfill what they are trying to do without overloading all of our staff. So that's where we are on that. Centralia goes live in 2 days. They are going to start sharing 2 weeks after that. So they are, I believe, in the Columbia hub. So, okay, our next meeting is June 23rd. Now I'm going to just throw it open to anybody who has anything that they would like to ask or share or, dare I say, complain about.
Can I ask a quick question about the new transit that you guys are doing this? I know at the MEC user conference, someone they were talking about the notes field, and I don't remember who mentioned it, but it seems like a really great idea. If you wanted to scan the barcodes of the items in the bag into that notes field, have you guys done that at all or tried it? I just thought that would be. Oh, I think you're muted. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we have not done that, mostly because then it's a whole nother step. We've already got the so I don't know. Plus, with the volume of what we send out, I don't know that we would ever choose to. If we had a smaller amount that was going out each day, that way you could really track where things were. I just don't know that that's gonna be. Marianne, do you do that?
I do
Have you
it.
start?
Bethany does it.
Bethany? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't add the only thing I put in the notes is if I'm sending a book club kit. That way I can kind of keep track of that because that's what I'm been having issues with. Those getting lost. So that's what it kind of seemed like. I don't have the time for it because I'm sending 150 to 200 items. I don't really sit at my computer much while I do it. So yeah, I don't do that either.
Okay, I just was curious. I know it's obviously not going to be feasible for some of the larger libraries, but I just had thought about it because we have a whole place in the back where we do the courier stuff and we don't typically bag it up until courier day. That way we can decide, small bag, large bag, count the items for Mala, all that stuff. And so it's something that had crossed my mind, like if we're going to start it, we might as well start when we start. And I just wondered if anybody else, but I can see how with the volume that you guys do, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
And I will say this, when it comes to it, I can look at when I put the items in transit in Evergreen. So that kind of helps me look at when they go in because we're in every day. So if we put it in transit today, then I'll send it out tomorrow. So like I can kind of see, and so that does help figure that out a little.
Okay. Cassie had something in the chat. Can somebody read that for me real quick? Or Cassie read it?
Can read it. So I had a patron that I realized he said he'd been waiting for a hold for quite a while. And when I looked, I saw that he had placed a hold on a title that was on order in November of 25. And it was an April 2026 pre-pub. It was a James Corey book, which isn't the end of the world, except that he kept waiting, thinking he was going to get that book. Well, then a lot of the age protections kick in and he wasn't getting it. Is there any way that we can prevent our ORL patrons from placing those on hold? On the on order titles to prevent a hold being placed on that, knowing that they won't get them, for 3 to 6 months? No. Okay.
I don't really, nothing comes, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. We want people to be able to, there's a large number of people who do want to be able to put holds on those on
Yeah.
order
Yeah.
records. And so I guess it's partly patron education that
Okay.
if you put a hold on a on order item, there is, depending upon what that or item is, there is a high probability that they could be on age protection too. So just reasonable expectations. I know everybody is excited about they put a hold on a book because they want it, yeah, on an item because they really want it, but
Are we
Yeah.
still discussing the option of changing or removing some of the larger hold protection lengths? I know everybody's going to be either happy or hateful. No, I'm not hateful, but you know what I mean? Like it's very polarizing, I know, but
They are still in use. I run a report every month that shows new items that are added and what age hold protection level they are using. Since we introduced the 1 month, a lot of libraries have moved to it. I know there's at least one library that uses no age hold protection at all. But the 6 month is still in use by approximately like 20% of the new items that are hitting the shelves. So,
okay.
I mean, I am always interested in discussion with those libraries to see what would make them feel comfortable sharing sooner. I think it's a benefit to patrons, but yeah, the reality is the 6 month is still currently in use.
Okay.
I have one more.
okay.
Sorry, guys. Is there any way that we can add, I know that we can go in and add notes to a hold after the hold has been placed. Is there any way that we can add that in that hold screen so that we don't have to go back into the account to make the notes? And this, I use it mostly for myself for cataloging. I'll be honest, it's kind of a selfish request. But is there any chance that we could get that added to the regular hold screen that we do where we can put the notes right in there for that hold?
Well, I would suspect there's always a chance. It would probably go in as a wish list
Okay.
type request. So, I mean, you could actually send that in yourself to them. Now, whether it would gain any traction or not, I don't know. But you're right, you do have to go back after the hold is placed and then put that on there. I don't know if it has anything to do with at the point that you're putting the hold on, it hasn't targeted, but sometimes it doesn't target anything yet anyway. So I'm thinking out loud here. I'm just trying to see what, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. Nothing ventured, you don't get what you want if you don't ask. So
I'll add it as a wish list, see what happens. Like I said, it's mostly for myself in cataloging, but I can see where it would be handy all the time. Thank you.
all right, anything else? Ooh, it's only 11:39. This really could be a short meeting. I could be excited. Okay, well, not hearing anything else. Um, we're going to close the meeting. Just look for that save the date and the survey because we really, really, really want your opinions on that. So, other than that, have a great day.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.